this is key. We are going to talk about, with the odds on their side, they still couldn't beat the market, that the stock pickers and actively managed mutual funds couldn't outperform the market. And the thing to consider is you don't see articles like this that often in the Wall Street Journal, in the New York Times, in Money Magazine, or any of them. Why? Look around at who their advertisers are. And most of their advertisers are going to be financial institutions. They're going to be companies that market actively managed mutual funds. So just be aware when you see these articles. The reason we go deep on them is you don't see them that often. And they're really great to see out there. We want to push more people to go see them. We'd love for the institutions to write more of these, but you are not the New York Times customer. You are not the Wall Street Journal's customer. The advertisers are their customers. Your eyes on their content is what they sell to their customer, which, as Corey likes to say, how do you put it? If you sit down,
if you don't know what you did to earn a seat at the table, you might not be sitting on the table. You might be served on top of it, or sitting at you might be served on. Right.
Yeah, you might be the serving. I think that's the case in a lot of these. So we really want to acknowledge the New York Times for a great article, all this. And this is the point, is really encapsulated in this first little few sentences. It's awfully hard to beat the stock market consistently. In 2022, despite many advantages, most mutual funds couldn't do it. And there are important lessons in that failure for this year and beyond. So their point is, active managers, that means a manager who is actively trading stocks on the inside of the mutual fund for the sake of being able to produce outsized performance, more than what the index would have done if you'd have done the index without the stock picker, okay? Now,
and the S&P 500 is not the entirety of the market, but it is what a lot of media sources are talking about when they say the market was up or the market was down. And the S&P 500 was down 19.4% last year, which is even more startling in comparison to this next piece of data, paragraph down below. It says the average stock did better than the overall market.
Now that sounds strange. How could the average stock do better than the market? Because you would think the average stock would be the average.
The market up, right? Yeah. But it did.
But you guys may have heard that episode we did some time ago, where Corey talked about the fact that the S&P 500 may be the biggest tech fund you didn't know you owned. Because at the time of that recording, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, and Facebook, MAGA F is how I remember it, they were 22% of the Standard & Poor's 500, meaning 5 stocks took up 22%, meaning the other 495 stocks had to split up the other 78% of the index's total investable assets.